And then the order is going to be election results and scholarship information. Then we'll talk about the membership committee, the magazine, communications, the book club, and then In It to Win It. So you kind of have an idea of what order you're in. So first up is Katrina Thompson and Sandy Krucky. If you guys are on, would you talk to us about the election results and scholarship information, whatever order you prefer?
So Katrina, do you want to, I know you've got the persons that were elected. Do you want to give that, or do you want me to go ahead and do it?
Sandy, I'm battling with this laryngitis, so I'll just let you go ahead and do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, I'll be the person. And I may have to put my little cheaters on. So I want to thank everybody that has run for the different various positions that WIN has had this year. The elections were wonderful. They were pretty tight. I have, between myself and Christy McKinley, we have contacted everybody on the list either by phone, IM, or by email to let them know. So because I don't think it's fair that we don't let all the people know prior to making the announcement. But I am very pleased to go through and let you all know who has won. So the next vice president of WIN, and if you all will remember, the vice president is a successional, the presidency is a successional position where the vice president is elected, and then that person is then the next year the executive vice president, and then the next year is the president, and then the following year they are the past president. So the vice president this year that has been elected for 2020 is Val Hartman. And thank you, Val, for agreeing to do this. I know you're going to do a great job as vice president.
Thank
Yay! The next position that was we had available and open was the secretary of WIN. This position takes all the minutes of the organization and keeps the president in line, telling her when she's supposed to do stuff, which she's done a very great job of it. And this year, the secretary of WIN that was elected is April Wilson. Thank you, April. Thank you. The next position that we had open was the treasurer of finance. This one works closely with the treasurer of membership, the membership person, and helps handle all the financial books within the organization. We had this again was a close race, and the person that was had the most votes was Ann Pollock. Ann, are you on? Okay. I don't know if she was able to make it, but I did speak to her and let her know that she had the most votes. The final position on the board or on the National Council that was open was the Midwest Regional Representative. This position, we voted in a bylaw, so I'm not going to go by that to change the length of it, but there was a couple different individuals that ran for it, and Christy was able to get a hold of Monica, and Monica Weimer is the Midwest Regional Representative. Monica, are you online? Okay. Sometimes it gets a little difficult to join us at certain times. We also had a bylaw change, of which I did not print out the bylaws, and if any of you want to know what the bylaw change specifically has to do, it has something to do with the secretary length and the regional representatives length and several of the different lengths of service of the other positions besides the presidential successionally position. And it was and I really like to tell you how much it was for, but 97.73% was for the change, and 2.27% was against it. So it passed. So those are all our elections. And again, thank you all who ran. Every one of you is a value to us. And I expressed to you either in person or by email, if I didn't get a hold of you, that if there's any emphasis areas that you want to work with, please let us know, because we always have committees that need to be upheld, and various activities that we need all the help we can get. And without this organization, without you, this organization would not be successful. We are quickly being looked upon to support the other organizations and to help them. We're a bright and shining partner with them, and that is only because of the membership that we have in each and every one of you. So should I just go ahead into the scholarship then?
Please do.
Okay, so we decided to talk about the scholarship, the WIN scholarship. And as president, when you become past president, it seems like we all take on a special emphasis area, an emphasis area that we feel strongly about. When I become past president, this emphasis area will be the WIN scholarship application. We have not been utilizing it nearly enough. We do have quite a bit in the scholarship fund, we do have it available. And what the scholarship fund is all about, and if you have read it over, it does say that proposals should be submitted March 15th, June 15th, September 15th, December 15th, and then they will fund on the 30th of each of those months. We recommend you can submit the application anytime. There's an application. No, it doesn't talk about it. So it currently we are awarding $500 towards an individual's that's a member of WIN that will wants to further their education or go to a seminar or what have you that will help them with their career. This would be something that NRCS is not currently assisting you with, but this is something that if you got the opportunity to attend the training, it would help you with your career and on your resume. So the application process is is not very lengthy. It requires you to give us a name, address, your current position, your grade level, your date of WIN membership, and the things that you could qualify for is books, tuition, training fees and registration fees, course fees, or any combination of them that added up to $500. So then in your application, you would check the items that you need assistance with. For instance, if you were going to school and took a course and you had a scholarship from another entity, but they didn't cover your books, WIN could possibly cover your books. So we could cover the tuition. So those are all the things that you, in the scholarship, that you can, because you're a member, you could apply for. Then the things that we need is the training, just date of the training course provider, maybe a description, a training agenda that we can review. And just that narrative limit to 1 page. And here's the one question that we would like you to answer and be sure to answer is, how does this educational or training activity promote your personal growth and development? So we just would like that information so that we could, have that to be able to evaluate the application. I don't know, is Julie on the line?
You mean Julie from Oregon?
Yes, Julie from Oregon.
Yes, I'm on.
Didn't you receive I'm putting you on the spot, I'm sorry, but didn't you receive a scholarship from WIN?
No, unfortunately, no, but it's a good question, but no, I have not.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I was misinformed. I do not know. I've tried to glean to see who has received a college scholarship this year. I don't have that information in front of me, but does anybody have any questions about the scholarship?
I'll ask one, Sandy.
Okay.
If somebody needed, you know, like another soils class or something to be able to move, and maybe most of this taken care of. I know it happened to be a problem at one time that, you know, they were hired on, but they can't move out of their current position because they needed another X number of hours of soils or something like that. Is that something that the scholarship could go towards also, like a class at a university?
Oh, most definitely. Tuition is covered underneath here, and that would be, that would rank very highly on what they need because they can't move up from a technician to a SOILCOM without that class. That's what we want to do. We want to promote our employees, our female, well, our employees that are members of WIN, male and female, to move up through the system with NRCS. Yes, most definitely. We have a chat. Let's see what the chat says. Is it possible to apply retroactively, as in I've already paid for the class, but am taking it now? Wow, that's a good question. My suggestion is that you go ahead and apply for the, do the application and explain what happened and submit it to the board so we can review it. That would be my best answer. Does anybody else on the board have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, Sandy, this is Christy. I visited with Lauren about it this morning. Lauren Muldowney is our treasurer of finance, and she's been administering the scholarship program. That she said we have done that in the past, where as long as you're still in the course and you're not done with it, we've had people apply, and then you get reimbursed for what you've paid out after the course is completed. So it's a reimbursable process, but we've been doing that, I guess. So I don't think that's something new.
Good, good. So, Kathy, I hope that answered your question. Anybody else have a different question? It's a great thing. We really want you all to take advantage of it. We have, I'm not quite sure how much we have there, but I know that we have enough that we can give it out to a couple different people. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the parameters of how much we've budgeted. We do budget a certain amount each year, but I don't believe this year we've met the budget. And with the amount that we have in the funds, there's a possibility we'll change the budget for next year, because again, it's going to be something that I'm going to push and stress, because I think that's one of the things that we're finding out is that we're unable to move up because we don't have that specific education or experience on our resume. Okay. You are welcome to contact Christy, myself, Katrina after this In It to Win It. If you have any more questions on the scholarship, we certainly would love to talk to you about it. So at that, April, I'm going to go on and let you have the rest of the agenda.
Good, thank you.
Thanks.
Next will be Heather Henson. She is our treasurer of membership, and she will give a membership update and what all is going on in her neck of the woods. And Heather, your line is muted. I can see that it's muted, so if you're saying something, you might need to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
All right. Great. I guess I double muted myself. So thanks, April. This is Heather. Just wanted to give a quick update on membership. So as of this morning, we have 177 members in WIN. And out of that 177, we have 76 that are lifetime members. And just a quick overview of the lifetime membership. So the lifetime membership is $350. And you can pay that in one installment, or you can pay that in 4 different installments of $87.50. And typically that can be paid like once a quarter. So as long as you pay it within a 12-month period, you'll be good. And what that does is I will be sending out invoices through PayPal every quarter until you have that membership paid out. So I just sent some earlier in the week. And then also the ones that have the annual dues, I have a nice little spreadsheet that tells me the month that you joined when. And so at the beginning of every month, I pull those names. And again, I'll send an annual invoice through PayPal that way, so you can pay your annual dues. So that's currently what's going on. Right now, there's not like an automatic withdrawal. I think we're looking into that happening from your pay stub or your however you get paid through the agency. They're looking into that, so that might be a future thing. But right now, it's not automatic. We've also considered instead of having to do an invoice every month for the month that you joined, possibly just having a once a year. So like in January, everybody's dues would be due for the year instead of doing them every month. So those are a couple of things that we're considering. I'd love your guys' feedback on it. If you have time, you can shoot me an email. So that's pretty much my report. Does anybody have any questions? So also one quick thing with the membership, every quarter I also send out all the contact information for everybody and when, and with the different committees to the committee chair and then the board and everything. So that's where, if you've joined between now and September, you may or may not be getting the emails because I haven't submitted that one yet. But this month I'll be sending out a new spreadsheet with everybody's emails and things that have joined since then. So you should start receiving emails if you've sent any updates to your email. Because I know when you sign up, we put our work email and then our home email on there. And some folks don't like to get them twice. That's totally understandable. So if you don't like to do that, you can just contact me and I can take you off. I can take your home email off if you want that. So yeah, but if you have any other questions, feel free to contact me. I'm always here.
Thank you, Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Deanne Littlefield with a magazine information update. Are you there, Deanne? Okay, I'm not seeing her on unless she's accidentally muted. We'll give you just a second to unmute. Okay, maybe she wasn't able to join us. So Val, that means you're up next to the communications.
Hey, April,
Oh.
can I just go ahead? This is Sandy. Could I just briefly talk about the magazine?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we would, what Wynn would like to do is have a magazine at least twice a year. We have managed to have it once a year. And if once, and it was done prior to the joint employees meeting. And I am going to say that Deanne has done professional magazine, quality magazine. I had it printed out just on regular paper. And had I gone the extra mile and printed it up like a magazine, you wouldn't have been able to tell that was anything more than anything less than a professional magazine. That sends volumes to our organization. The stories that come from you as a membership and that are given to Deanne to capture and put together is just a reflection of the women and men that we have within our organization. It was passed out at the joint employees meeting. It was quickly snatched up. It was the talk of the town, and the articles were very informative. If you don't have a copy of it and wish to have a copy of it, I believe I did send it out to the membership, but I will be more than glad to resend an electronic copy back out. But we will in the near future, be looking for more stories and more ideas to put in the magazine. So if that's something that you all are interested in getting involved with the magazine and getting it put together, I'm sure that Christy, who will be the president in January, would love for you to step up and volunteer to that. But I just thought I'd go ahead and add my 2 cents into that, April.
Appreciate it. And if Deanne was on, she might have had some issues. I haven't seen anything from her, but she can always say hello and add anything if she's on or calls back in or whatever. So, okay, Miss Val, you ready?
Yep, I sure am.
All right, and we can hear you.
Okay, good. I was just going to ask that. Okay, so I'll give you a little update on the Communications Committee. First of all, some background on it. The Communications Committee is co-chaired by the Secretary. So as I was elected to be the Secretary, I also got the duties of co-chairperson of the Communications Committee. And then the other person that is also the co-chair is Patty Winheim. And she was appointed back when she was an employee of NRCS, and she is now a Forest Service employee, which gives us a little bit of a disconnect just because we communicate lots between us as NRCS people. So that is probably one of the, I don't know if I want to say, makes a little more of an effort to keep that communication going. And also with the committee, we have had a real hard time getting maybe some unity on that, some common goals, and people just excited about doing things on the committee. So as we get going and as April becomes the secretary and assumes these duties, hopefully we can get this committee more active. So if you have any interest in the things that I'm going to talk about that we are responsible for, please reach out and we could definitely use your help. A couple of the things that we did get accomplished in the last few years is we had to switch our website to something a little more efficient and better usable. And so we did some research on that and went to MoPro as our website. And the Communication Committee has had part to do in that. And then also this Zoom webinar service, we did some research on that and determined that this was the best route to go. And it has been actually quite successful. It has helped us as members of the executive board and the National Council for WIN be able to at least see each other and get a feel for expressions and that type of thing if people use their screens. There's, I think, only 3 of us that are looking at each other right now. So, but it is helpful to put a face to a name if you haven't been at meetings together or something. And then just so you know how we keep track of our stuff, all of the reports that we do, the minutes that we do, any committee reports, all of that type of thing, we have one common storage system that it's called 1-in-1, and we file everything there. So if we ever need to go back to anything, you know, once I am not the secretary anymore, obviously that stuff has to be able to be found by the next person that follows me. So that's where we keep that type of thing for members, not members, but the executive board and the National Council to be able to access. Some of the things that we want to improve upon is definitely our social media outreach. We do have a Facebook page, and I do see that lots of people look at that, but we don't really have anybody in charge of updating it. So once in a while somebody will update it, but I think we could do a lot better job at that. Also, we have a Twitter account and we can blog, but we just don't have anybody that's taken on that responsibility to make that happen. So hopefully we can in the future get better at that. And then we are also looking at putting together a communications policy. Aside from, we do have a WIN policy and we do have WIN bylaws, but we would like to put together a communications policy, and we do have a draft going of that, but that has not moved forward. So that is another thing that we want to pursue further. The magazine and the book club are subcommittees of the communications committee, but both of those have pretty much functioned on their own. And so any accomplishments that they have done have been not because the communications committee really took any lead on that. But that could be more of a group effort. I think the communications committee could get more involved and support those subcommittees more if we got a group of people that were really excited about doing those things. With that, I guess, I don't know if anybody has questions on anything. I'm open to take those.
Val, I have a question about our webmaster.
Okay.
So currently our webmaster is Ann. Would that be the Ann Pollock, and she is now going to be treasurer of finance?
Yep.
I am not saying that Ann's not going to be willing to do that, but it may be a big, more
Yeah.
than she can possibly handle.
Right.
Would that be would the communication committee be the committee that would assist to find a webmaster?
Yes. Yep. That would be the best place to start.
Okay. So listen, everybody that's listening, I'm going to help April on this one. We probably need we do need a webmaster. If that's something that you would like to be involved with, please get a hold of us, because we know that Ann is, I'm 99% sure that Ann is going to have her hands full with the treasurer of finance.
Yep, I would agree wholeheartedly with that, Sandy.
Anything else, Val?
Nope, that's all that I have if no one has questions.
Perhaps I should have talked to you more before I decided to run for secretary.
Yeah, that was a surprise for me too.
That's quite a to-do list you have. Okay. Book club. Molly, are you on? Okay.
Okay, April, I know I'm really mouthy today, so I'm sorry, but I can
This is
speak.
your last chance. Go ahead.
It's my last chance. And Molly, if she's muted and wants to jump in, she's more than welcome to. I'll tell you what I know about it. What Molly has typically done, and she's done a really good job with this, is that she will ask the incoming president. So she asked me about a book that I would feel that would be something that we could read together. And what you do is you read a chapter or so, a portion of the book, depending on how long the chapters are. It may be a couple chapters. And then as a group, you discuss what's in that book. This is the book that I chose this year was, I think it's called The Magnolia Story with Chip and Joanna Gaines. If I could do anything in this world besides my wonderful job at NRCS, it would be to do what Joanna Gaines does. So that's and plus the book had a lot of information and how she managed to be a successful businesswoman and a mother, and juggled everything. Plus, if you all know who Chip is, she did a very good job as being a wife to Chip. So we went through a couple different, through the book, chapter by chapter. And what Molly will do is send out questions that she's gleaned from the chapter, but made her spark some interest. And then we all comment on those different questions, you know, give our different perspectives, or have we ever had this happen to us, or what have you. So it's a really good experience because we get different thoughts. I got some thoughts that I didn't even think about in reading somebody else's answers, and I really you know, I really encourage you as a members to take advantage of that, of the book club, because it can be done on your time, your own time, and it's something refreshing that that gives you a different, that you can touch base with people across the nation. So that's my 2 cents.
Is there anything that anybody else would like to add? I know Betsy said that she enjoyed the Magnolia story, and I read it too, and it was good. Kristen, that will be me. Can you shoot me an email, please? Thank you. Okay. Good deal. The last thing that we have on our list is the in it to win it, and so that's me, and I'll wrap it up. But I wanted to give anybody an opportunity, or everybody an opportunity, to ask questions, or you know, give a report, give information that might be waiting to do so.
Hey, April, this is Julie out in Portland.
Hey, Julie in Portland, how are you?
I am just wonderful on this Friday. So I was wondering if you could clarify for the group today, what is the best way, if there's a committee that you may be interested in participating in, what's the best way to let your interests be known?
That is a great question. Sandy, can you answer that for us?
I am going to say that it does fall on the president's shoulders to do that. Carrie, which was president two presidents ago, was an advocate for the committees, and she got the committees to be she was more involved with trying to get the committees going. She did a lot of emphasis on there. I'm going to apologize. Unfortunately, I had my hands full with the initiative and the employees joint employees meeting, and so I've had some people ask about the committees, and I have got the information from Carrie as to what is the committees, and what are what is it all about, and I've passed it along. But my hope is that we can, maybe that would be something that I can assist Christy in after my term is up, and do the help with the committees and with the scholarship. I know that's a little wordy, Julie, but I wanted to apologize to the membership if they feel like they are struggling as to where to get the committees information. So my suggestion would be to contact the president, and Christy and I will get together and try to come up with some type of game plan to get the committees to be stood up again, and become more of an active participant in our organization.
Sandy.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Jeff is
This is
asking.
Jeff.
Yeah.
When you sent me all that information about the committees and stuff, I started reading through it. Of course, I had that same question.
Right.
I was thinking of, I think it would be kind of easy if you had a webmaster, because I don't know how to do any of that. I'd be willing to help also, to kind of briefly describe what they do according to what's in the bylaws and that. I've kind of been playing around with that idea since I knew I was going to meet with you, and be able to kind of, I don't know, do something to help to make it easier. And if we could get that on the internet, on the webpage, I think that would solve most of our problems, because it opened my eyes a lot. I think there's 2 or 3 committees I would like to help with and be part of, but I certainly don't have time to do all 3.
Right.
And sorry, I couldn't share the video because I don't eat very pretty.
Hey, we can
So I
actually,
was listening.
well, we actually see you. now. Do you know that?
Now. Yeah, now you do, right?
Okay, yeah.
Put a lot
Well,
of stuff in my.
oh, I see what you're saying. So, Jeff, that's wonderful that you've stepped up and you've always been a big help to me and Katrina. So I would welcome you helping me with this. And once we find a webmaster, we can definitely put that information on and help stand up the committee. So yeah, that'd be perfect. Thank you. Julie, does that answer the questions? Is there others out there that are asking more questions?
No, you answered it well. I just wanted to make sure for the purposes of the call that we are on the same page. That's all. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so on your screen, I think you'll see kind of our setup for the 2020. Can you believe it's already 2020? Almost. What we are looking at doing for our In It to Win It series next year. We had a real ambitious career development series that Katrina and I have been working on since Spokane, I think. And so, and because we feel like that our Farm Bill workload next year is going to be significant, we are looking at spreading this out all year instead of trying to do like a 3 or 4 month real specific kind of a targeted kind of thing. And so this is what we're looking at, 11 months. And this kind of gives you an idea of some of the summarizing kind of what we're looking at doing each month and the topics that we're looking at developing. So the first 2 months, January and February, and we're going to have a speaker talk to us about the next 10 years. What do we want to accomplish the next 10 years? What does that next 10 years look like? Who do we want to become? Who do we want to be? Where do we want to be? Where are we going? And so I am so excited about these that I'm looking forward to it. If you don't participate in the rest of this, I would highly recommend participating in these. And they may be a little bit longer than an hour, that we may need that, and we will let you know for sure whenever we set up the Zoom meetings and things like that. It will be our goal to record these. It's always my goal to record. Sometimes I fail. But it will be our goal to record these and to make sure that you can go back and look at this. We're putting together a workbook that you'll be able to use for those 2 Inspiring Decade talks also, that will kind of start you down the path of all these other topics and maybe where you fit in and what's important to you. And so, you know, not all of these may be something that's real important to you. It might not be where you're going, but if later on, it may be something that you want to go back and listen to. And so that's our goal. So I think this is going to be good. I'm very excited about the whole series. I think it's something that will really make WIN, you know, look professional and will be really good for us as an organization, as well as very good for our members. I'm very much looking forward to this. So so that's kind of in a nutshell, and I'll be getting more information to you soon. Chats, we got chats. Let's see. Good deal, thank you. I think it's something that, I really do think it's something that will be a huge benefit to all of our members at some level in their careers. And so we'll be looking forward to that. Now, after 2020, we'll be probably picking up on the various topics and doing the every other month again. But we'll be super people next year and roll this out, and that's the goal. Next December, we'll probably look at doing this kind of effort again and pull in all of our committees and and it will be good to see how Jeff has led us to the point next December and getting all those things accomplished. No pressure. So I like this format. I like what we're doing today, getting everybody together that we can visit and review the year and kind of tell you what we would like to accomplish and win for the next little bit, and let you know that we need your help, and your help will make us a better organization, as well as give you opportunities to stretch and grow and improve your leadership skills too. So, anything else that anybody would like to mention?
So April, while you were talking, it's hard to look at the chat and everything at the same time, but Betsy asked if we sent this brochure out to us yet.
No, not yet.
When do you think we'll send it out?
Definitely before January 31. So I wanted to have something that we could look at today. So as you can see the red marks, this is kind of our markup. We were actually working on it this week. And I will start my leave right before Christmas, so we will probably send it out by then.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Kristen said she had a great comment. This curriculum could be used to really increase membership. Mm-hmm. Yes, I want to speak on that just a few minutes. This In It to Win It is a great draw for us. We have discussed opening it up and not opening it up, and not that we're trying to be rude or anything like that, but this is something that WIN has done. It's special to us. It's something that does increase our membership, and so that is why it's only closed to the membership. Yes, it's a way to get more members to join, but I have been talking to Bianca with the Hispanic organization, and she is picking April's brain, and what she's trying to do is come up with some ideas to complement our series to incorporate into her organization. So we feel much pride that we have been able to provide this to you all, and that we've been a beacon to allow others to do the same thing within their organization. So
I agree. And, to that end also, if you wish to invite someone to join you as a member, if you wish to invite a non-member to join you, we welcome that. But we don't send out the call-in information just to anybody in general. And I do think it is a good recruiting technique or tool. So,
I'm sorry, April. One of the things that I thought about too is that we have this under, we've recorded this. Mm-hmm. We have discussed, and if we get to where we can do this, one area is that we may be able to put this on the website under a passcode only way that we can get in and we can have that access to our membership. But you do send out the Zoom video, correct, out to the membership. Even if they cannot attend, like we all get busy or we get called off on doing something, you still send it out to the membership so that they can at least view it after the time. Yes.
We have real jobs too that we have to do. That WIN's way more fun. but we do have to accomplish our real jobs, and sometimes that takes us away from the phones and the computers, and we have to do what's required. So hopefully our members can come back and listen to those topics later that they're interested in. So. Anything else? Any other questions or concerns or anything that anybody wants to say before we wrap up 2019? It just doesn't seem possible.
I do have a quick question.
Okay.
For whoever wants to answer it. As I was reading through some of the stuff, it got me to thinking about how often is too often to be asked questions. So, for example, if Wynn had questions on mentorship and they wanted the membership to answer, would sending out weekly questions be too much? Or, so that you could improve one of your programs? Or would a monthly questionnaire be more appropriate, in your guys' opinion? Does that make sense?
What? No.
Is it like
Okay. So
or in it to win it suggestions or comments? Are you looking to glean information?
Well, for example, we're speaking about membership and wanting to increase membership. So if we sent out a question, or we wanted to ask a series of questions to the membership about their membership to see, how we can improve it, or, how often could we ask that question to get the best responses?
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, if you text me a question once a week, I'll have my wife text it back and answer it. And she's really nice about that. If you email me a question once a month and you email 10 questions, like you said, workload, I may or may not get to it. So that's kind of where I was going with that.
Well, April, again, I'm sorry. I'm going to speak on that just a little bit and give you an example. I get a lot. Okay, so we all can go to USA Jobs, and there's a spot for details that we can all go to. But I still get a lot of requests from state cons, and the president does, state conservationists or area conservationists, some area conservationists, some who know who I am or who know who the president is, to forward on the vacancy announcements. Sometimes there are so many of them that I have gotten comments that there's too much information. It just stuffed the mailbox full. So I've tried to go ahead and put them all together into one email, which sometimes gets lost because you don't scroll down through it. So I struggle with that same situation. Is it what is too much, and what is too little? Does anybody else have any thoughts? I try not to do it every day, is what I try to say. I try to do it, but some of these are time sensitive, so I have to. But I'm thinking, I don't know. I get my best response actually, I get my best response if I send it out and then remind everybody that they need to answer me, And then usually the second time that I remind them, I get I get some response the first time, and the second time I remind them, I'll get the rest of the stuff. But let me give you an example. We sent out twice, once as a president and one as regional representatives, to vote. And we have 100, let's see, Heather said we had 177 members, and we received 89 votes, which is great that we received 89 people that have voted. But my hopes were that all 177 would have voiced their thoughts. And so that's all the data I can give you. And if there's anybody else on the board or out in the membership that can help Jeff with that answer, please speak up. We would love to hear it.
Jeff, this is Val Hartman. I would say I'm in a field office, so doing the normal field office stuff. I think an email once a week would be too much. I think I could probably handle once a month if you're looking for good, input on something in particular. I would probably be more apt to reply to that, but once a week I think would be too much.
I kind of feel the same way, Jeff, whenever I'm sending out notices for In It to Win It. I want to remind everybody, and sometimes the agenda's not quite ready, or it's a good way to remind folks and get the call-in information if I send it again. And so sometimes you'll get 2 emails from me for that, you know, in a week, and so I struggle with that too. Because I have state staff that are members, and I'm always afraid that they're like, hey, she's sending another WIN email. So what's she actually doing? So yeah, that's a good question. And I guess you don't really have any answers. It's more of a rhetorical. You would like answers, not you have them to give.
No, that's wonderful. I just, like I said, I was looking through all these committee things, and there's some really useful committees that aren't being utilized right now. And so I was kind of looking for something that I like to do that maybe I'd be willing to put more time into. And so part of that, actually, that Women's Issues Committee is really interesting, offers a lot of good stuff, I think, for people to participate in. But the one question is in there when it kind of talks about how to increase membership and also retention. And, you know, really to increase retention, we got to know what people like or don't like about it. And so then you got to ask that question. And so I don't want to, I would hate to suggest that you send something out and not get any answers and any real value. And so, you know, that's kind of where that thought was coming from, was just reading through some of that.
Right.
Jeff, I also got an email. Julie McSwain from Oregon, she's one of our regional reps, is also willing to help with getting the committees more active. So if you and her want to go ahead and correspond with each other and get, you know, shoot some ideas back and forth. Julie is a wealth of knowledge on that, on that kind of issues.
Maybe one of those things, that little mini newsletters, you know, Mike could develop out of it for getting some of this information. But again, we have to have somebody who has a passion for it, that wants to do it, that's willing to take it on and be able to pull it together and get it done in a timely basis and on our own time, really, because WIN is our own time thing, even though we're all sitting here probably on government time today. But there's so much potential. WIN has so much potential for more people to get involved and to set up more committees and get more information into our members' hands, that we are really excited to have anybody that wants to help grow in those committees and grow our organization. We really want you to come on, and if you don't know who to talk to, start with the president, and she'll find who that needs to go to, or Lucian. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Excellent. Sandy, do you want to wrap us up?
Sure.
Okay.
First of all, I want to thank April for all that she's done for the In It to Win It. I did speak to her before she ran for secretary. Of course, she just found out what she's supposed to do, so she may change her mind on this, but she did say that she would continue on with it, with the In It to Win It series, and I'm so grateful to her. Just an FYI, April, Lacey Fallon, who also ran for secretary, I did speak to her. She may be interested. I didn't get a firm answer out of her, but she may be interested in helping you with the In It to Win It. And if there's anybody else that would like to help April, please feel free to contact her. Again, she's done a fantastic job, and I'm just thankful that she's stepped up to do this. Understand that it doesn't, even though we have national council and we do have board members that are exposed to, you know, they get exposed to the different networking of NRCS, so does our committee people. They don't have to, you don't have to be on national council nor on on the board to be exposed to networking capabilities. If you're on a committee, if you're out there with WIN, they're going to see you, and you're going to get to meet the people that you need to help with your career. So thanks so much for joining us today. It's 1 o'clock. I don't want to go over. So April, thanks again. And everybody have a happy holiday.
Yes.
And a new year.
Yes. See you in 2020.
Thanks.